With no oxen and no yoke, he couldn't return to farm. He was going with the prophet Elijah, and he was not turning back. That's the kind of commitment that Jesus was looking for. He wanted his disciples to have that kind of no turning back commitment. Jesus would rather have a few committed disciples than many half-hearted believers. Jesus calls. What is our response? The kind of commitment that Jesus was looking for was exemplified in a brief prayer by Ignatius Loyola. Ignatius prayed this: "Teach us, good Lord, to serve you as you deserve, to give and not to count the cost, to fight and not to heed the wounds, to toil and not to seek rest, to labor and not to ask for reward. Save that of knowing that we do your will." The question is really this: who was Jesus? Who was this Jesus to ask such extreme devotion? The Bible presents Jesus as the Messiah, the Son of God, the one whom God sent to show us how to live and to save us. Most of us, I hope, are here today because we believe that. If that is true, if Jesus was truly the Son of God, if he really did come to save us, then we owe him our highest devotion. If not, if he was not the Son of God, we owe him nothing. C.S. Lewis, the author of the Chronicles of Narnia and many other really good books, he's a great author. He put it this way. He said, "A man who was merely a man and said the sort of things Jesus said wouldn't be a great moral teacher. He'd either be a lunatic on a level with a man who says he's a poached egg, or he'd be the devil of hell. You must make your choice. Either this man was and is the Son of God, or else he's a madman or something worse." Jesus calls. What is our response? I, for one, believe that Jesus truly was and is the Son of God. I believe that he came from God to rescue us from ourselves, to save us from sin, to save the world. I believe it because I know I've seen it. I've seen people's lives who have been transformed. And my guess is you have seen it too. You may not even have recognized it because you may have met somebody who had become a Christian a long time ago, and you don't see the difference in their lives. But I'm sure there are people here today who can attest to the many ways that Jesus has saved them, has changed their lives, has ransomed them from a whole host of evils. One of the people who Jesus saved was a man named Bill Wilson. He was one of the co-founders of Alcoholics Anonymous. Wilson, an alcoholic, a hopeless drunk. It was back in 1934 when he had a religious experience that put him on the road to recovery. Nearly 3 decades later, he wrote a letter to the famous psychiatrist Carl Jung. He told Jung how Jung's earlier treatment of an alcoholic, a man named Roland, contributed to the following of the founding of Alcoholics Anonymous. Jung had treated Roland for alcoholism, but Roland had repeatedly relapsed, as often alcoholics do. Finally, Dr. Jung told Roland that neither medicine nor psychiatry could help him. Roland's condition was essentially hopeless. But Dr. Jung held out one small ray of hope. He said this: "A genuine religious or spiritual experience might save him." That was Roland's only hope, Dr. Jung said. Roland respected Carl Jung so much that he decided to try the religious route. He joined the Oxford Group, an evangelical Christian fellowship that introduced him to Christ and led him to the religious conversion that he needed. As a result, he was saved. He was able to stop drinking. At about the same time Bill Wilson was having a similar experience, his doctor, Dr. Silkworth, pronounced him hopeless as well. But learning of Roland's experience, Bill Wilson prayed for God's help and got it. He said this, "In that moment, I knew I was healed. In that moment, I knew that the addiction was broken, that I was a free man, maybe for the first time in my whole life." Christ has been saving people for 2,000 years now, saving them from alcohol, saving them from drugs, saving them from a host of sins, bringing them into a right relationship with God. In many cases, people have lived longer, more fruitful lives than they would have if it had not been for the relationship with Christ.